This was a $200 display back in 2009. This display is only 7 inches. It's the UM-740 from Mimo. It's a very unique little monitor for the time. It is a touchscreen monitor. It has a webcam, it has a microphone, and it also can be rotated, and it can move backwards and forwards. Such a weird little monitor with such a weird price tag as well. But the weirdness does not stop there, guys. So what makes this monitor a real little freak? Well, if we spin it around to the side, you're going to see the I/O here. And we have a couple of different I/O. We have one for a microphone. I believe that's microphone in, audio. And then we also have this mini USB here, which is a bit strange for a monitor. And we also have power. And on the side, we also have another headphone jack. I think one's for audio in, one's for audio out. There are no speakers on this device, so it can't display audio at all. And it also has this adjustable thing on the back, so it can go up and down, but it can only go as low as here. It can't go all the way down to there, which is really misleading, because the groove has to be the biggest size, which to me is weird. But you can have it this way or have it that way. Weirdly, you can't rotate it 360 degrees. It literally only goes that way and then it stops. Interesting little monitor. So how do you connect it to a PC now? And the first thing you need is your power adapter. Bear in mind, this was kind of pitched as a portable monitor as well from some of the reviews I saw from the time. So you need your power plug. But how do you get video down? We didn't see anything anywhere how you get video. And this is the real reason I bought this, because I was purely interested how this would play out. This is the way it sends video over. It is by the mini USB, which is completely bizarre. I haven't seen anything like that before. You would expect something like VGA for the time period, or maybe something a bit more micro HDMI or mini HDMI. You would expect something like that. It is only a 480p display. It's not too bad. And we'll plug it into the computer and we'll go over it. It's actually not a bad little display. The bezels are a bit chunky. This webcam, you can see the size of it. We already know how that's going to be, and it's not great. But it is a little freak in its own way, and I just had to have it. That's the top-down view if you wanted to see how thick it was. It's not really ideal. This stand does... You can fold it up, so if you did want to put it in something, but even then, it's still an awkward shape. This doesn't... See... You gotta have it one way or the other if you're going to transport it around. It's kind of an awkward shape. It is supposed to be a touch screen. We won't be looking at the touch screen element purely just because it's not compatible with Windows 10. I just don't really want to fire it up for a mediocre touch screen, because when you are touching it, I'll show you from the top, so it'll sit like that. It doesn't even really have good... I suppose that angle would work if it was like a touch screen, you had it on a desk for some reason. I don't know, checking in system or some sort of POS or something. But as you can see, if you have it slightly tilted back, which if you were standing at a desk, this will be an optimal view. It just does not like that. But even at this rate, it's not great for touchscreen. I'm not even touching it hard. I feel like this would be a normal thing. It's not a great touchscreen, but it has kind of another little useful purpose, and this is kind of why I wanted it. But yeah, let's move on to the PC and plug it in, and I'll show you what it looks like on. So this is the monitor switched on, and as you can see, it's on my Windows 10 PC. Currently it's an extended monitor setup. If we see, we have the same wallpaper in the background. If I just move this slightly out, it's going to be a bit crude, but the colour is very similar. It definitely is more similar in person. I don't really know why on the camera this blue is a lot more blue than the monitor blue. I have no idea why that is, but in real life, this blue isn't as saturated. It's more natural, like the blue that we see in the background of the other one, just like that one there. And overall, the quality is not bad. It's a nice screen. It's got decent viewing angles. You can go side to side. View off center, it's not terrible at all. One of the things I will say is it seems to be edge-lit. You might be able to see that it's like an edge-lit display. So there are some buttons on the front of the display as well. So obviously the power button is just a power button. The up and down buttons aren't actually volume, which you would think. It's actually for brightness, which if we knock it down a bit, you see, it does get lower. it just changes the brightness. Overall, it's a nice looking monitor. Of course, the bezels are quite thick by today's standards, but as we mentioned before, there is a microphone here and there is a webcam here. We'll pull up the webcam first just to show you what it looks like. So you can see me now on the camera. I believe this webcam is like 0.3 megapixels or something. It's really not good at all. Like, yeah, this isn't really a flat right angle, nor is the background, but you get the point. It's not a great webcam. It might have been back then, or maybe if you used this for like some sort of ID screen, this might have been better, but it's really not that great. I know some places I've been have had check-in screens for like security systems, and they use just like a webcam like this just to take a picture of you to prove, you know, this was you when you entered, you know, and maybe that is the use case scenario for one of these. Like I said, the touchscreen doesn't work. It wouldn't be that good if it did work. So one of the things you can do, as well as we mentioned before, is you can easily rotate the monitor as well. And of course, if you change your settings in Windows, that shouldn't be a problem. So because you can only rotate the monitor one way, so now we have the monitor rotated the other way. The current way this monitor is set up is that it only has part of the wallpaper, which I think is a bit strange, but I think that could just be because of the size of the screen. It's really not a big aspect ratio, and if we look at the start menu, for example, all of the like Microsoft crap is just cut off from the sides. Dan, what is the point of this, you know, this monitor, if you will? Well, I think it's a very good monitor to have at the side. I have some sides just here where, well, where the Devo weird Bluetooth speaker is, but you could put it at the side of your monitor. I think what it's really good for is just a small text screen, and I'll put up some text just to show you what I mean. So here I've just pulled up Microsoft's Wikipedia page, and my point is more that this is just like, I haven't changed anything here. I've gone on Zoom. This is just default Chrome. I think that's 100%. Let's just have a quick look. Yep, just default 100% Zoom, so you're not really changing anything. But it's actually quite a nice like book side monitor, you know, especially if you don't have a lot of room for another like secondary monitor. And I think this monitor, especially just for like reading text and doing what we're doing now, like this book view, it's very crisp and clear for that type of work. I just think that is the use case for this monitor. Of course, it might not have been the use case in 2009 when it cost $200. That was a fortune. But you can pick these things up for, you know, under £35. It's not an ideal monitor purely because it uses mini USB for its video, which I really do not like. I wish it was just a standard video signal and then it could be used on anything. But of course you can't just plug this into anything because you need the drivers for this to run. It does work with Windows plug and play. You just plug it in, give it a bit, and it'll get the driver and your monitor will be working. One thing I will say as well about this concoction of a screen, it does seem to be like made up of several different pieces. Like if you go to device manager on Windows, the webcam shows up as like a different device, and there's quite a few different like listing things for this, so I feel like it's loads of different things just all kind of stitched together and just working off the one USB. But as I said, you know, the text is easy to read on something like this. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have just a side screen, especially if you're short on space and you kind of want another screen just to like maybe even put Discord in or something like that, some sort of text-based software. But I want to know what you guys think of Mimo UM-740. There is a 740R, which I believe is a newer revision, and that does work on Windows 10. And I have some other products like this, but I found this one, I thought it was an absolute freak. With the mini USB connector, I just had to have it and show you guys. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.